I think Rusty Hardin is supposed to be a great attorney, but I think he did a misrepresentation of Deshaun Watson. Obviously, when you're a trial lawyer, whatever, you have fake prosecutions, whatever. Deshaun Watson is not good under cross. He's not good at actually speaking when it comes to these type of things. He's just not good. He comes off, I don't want to say guilty, but he just comes off like he's hiding something. And I think what he's hiding is the fact that this was going on for a while. And these women were getting paid handsomely for it. They had no problem with them until a certain attorney got involved. I think they should have had him plead the fifth the whole time. If he was found guilty on the, what do you call, the civil cases, whatever, he pays it, he moves on. I think he had bad advice from his attorney. But anyway, let me get to this whole thing about Deshaun Watson, what I believe was an extortion plot. These women, listen, if they were trying to set Watson up, phone in the pocket. You know how many times I've recorded people that without them knowing it with the phone in the pocket? They would have had evidence, anything. Phone in the pocket, anything. There wasn't that. No video, no audio, nothing. Zero evidence to substantiate or back these women up. You know why that is? Because these women had no intention of going this way with Deshaun Watson. That's why Deshaun Watson is so outraged by it. He's like, I didn't do nothing wrong. These women agreed to everything. I went in there, boom. He agreed. He actually believes he did nothing wrong. He's like kind of like, what the hell's going on here? So that's why they have no evidence of this. Because if these women were trying to set him up and frame him, someone would have had the phone in the purse, pocket, whatever, and recorded the whole goddamn thing, and he would have been done. But it never happened. That's why they had no intention of doing this until an attorney got involved. When an attorney got involved, well, guess what? It went sideways. Then it became criminal, and then 2 criminal grand juries said, no, there's not enough evidence to prosecute. But people said, it doesn't mean he's innocent. But then a federal judge, retired judge, finds that he's guilty of the player conduct, personality, whatever, code. Now he's guilty? Come on. Use your head. I do believe this is an elaborate. I mean, you think about it. You're an attorney. You got all these women you're representing in the same case. I mean, if these were 24 women represented by 24 different attorneys, there'd be some validity to this. But there's 24 women represented by the same guy. You're trying to tell me this guy didn't have a fucking conference call or them in his office? This is your story. You're sticking with it. This is your story. You're sticking with it. They're all similar. All similar stories. That's the thing. It's so... It boggles the mind how they're all similar stories that are all represented by the same guy. I believe this was an extortion plot from the get-go. And people are feeling sorry for these, what I call sex workers, because, God damn it, let's call a spade a spade. You took money from a man. You provided the service. You're a sex worker. The women that didn't join this class action lawsuit, because I'm going to be honest with you, if I lived in Houston, I would have tried joining the suit just to get money. And I guess there were people that actually tried joining the suit but couldn't prove their residence, whatever, and they got turned down. But the women that did not join this suit, that actually worked on Watson, I respect them because they have morals. I would love to interview them. I would love to hear from the women that actually worked on Watson and said, why didn't you join the suit? They'd probably say, because he did nothing wrong. We knew what he wanted and we gave it to him and he paid us for it. Is it prostitution? Maybe, but it's not sexual, whatever they call what Watson did. I believe Watson was misrepresented by his attorney. I do believe this was an elaborate extortion plot. I truly believe that. You're trying to tell me that Watson, with his money, as young as he is, has to go out and do this? No. I do believe he went there, and I do believe he might be a sex addict, but there is no doubt in my mind that what he did is not criminal. He went there, and he asked, do you do happy endings, whatever? They do, and boom, he got it. They said no, he walked out and got somewhere else. That's what I believe happened. That's why he had so many of them. I don't believe anything was criminal. I believe he was railroaded. Like I said, if these women wanted to set him up, they would have had evidence, some type of evidence. How many agencies investigated? They could not find one strand of evidence, not one piece of evidence. Think about it. 10 different agencies investigated this. They did not find any evidence to substantiate these women's claims. Nothing. But the NFL wants to take away his livelihood over it because he displayed predatory behavior, as the one judge said. Well, I displayed predatory behavior when I looked at cars. I kept looking at different cars. I didn't know which one I wanted. I looked at like 10 different cars when I was looking for a car years ago. Doesn't mean nothing. She said the sexual contact was non-violent. What does that even mean? That means consensual. But she says he's guilty of the player conduct policy. Now people want to say he's guilty. Honestly, why do you think Deshaun Watson doesn't admit guilt, doesn't show remorse? He truly believes he did nothing wrong. You know why he believes he did nothing wrong? Because he went there. These women were working on him. They did what he wanted, and they got paid. He's in his head thinking, why are these women doing this to me? That's what he's thinking. Because like I said, before the attorney got involved, These women didn't even have a problem with them. But when he got involved, their stories started coming out, all sob stories, like they were in pain. They weren't in pain. If you're getting sexually assaulted, I don't care who the client is, you're going to go to the police. Don't tell me the stories prove you don't trust me. Then why do they let Tony Busby speak for him? Why do they let this attorney speak for him? They're all represented by the same attorney. The stories are all similar. Come on, use your head. I believe someone needs to investigate that attorney, these women, and the women that didn't file in on the lawsuit, because I'd love to hear from them, because I believe they would tell you the truth. We provided them a service, and he provided us payment. I would love to hear it. They ruined this guy's image. They're trying to take away his livelihood? Come on. You can't see that this was an elaborate extortion plot? Now, I heard that this all started because Watson refused to play for the Texans because he claimed they were a racist organization. And I heard that the owner is like real good friends with the attorney that is representing all these women. Think about that. Someone should have did a background investigation of the attorney, of these women, something. And I think Watson was misrepresented. I think Rusty Hardin gave him terrible advice. Terrible advice. Watson's just not good in front of a camera. He's just not. I'm sorry. He can play football, but he's not good in front of a camera. He should have pleaded the fifth. That's why he doesn't show any remorse. He's thinking, well, I mean, I was going there for what? We could have been 6-8 months a year, and who knows? The Texans knew about it, so however long the Texans knew about it. So he's thinking in his mind, he's like, I've never had a problem with these women. I just don't understand. You know how you understand? They got an attorney because they thought they could make money, and they did make money. They said it's not about the money. Then why did they settle? It's always been about the money. This was a money grab. And like I say, I don't think these women had any intention of doing this before that attorney came. Once that attorney came and I don't know if you want to say coerced them, but whatever, recruited them and talked to them and said, you know what, you can make some money in a civil lawsuit, and they got it. And that is embarrassing when you think about it. That's why I mean, you people are calling Deshaun Watson guilty when there is zero evidence to substantiate it. I mean, you just don't want to believe that it's possible this could have been an extortion plot? I mean, let's use our head here. Deshaun Watson, he's going to have to go out and do this type of behavior? Use your head. Is it more plausible that Deshaun Watson's been working with these women for the last couple months, 6 months, whatever, maybe even a year, and they never had a problem with him until an attorney got involved and said, hey, you might be entitled to a large sum of money? Is that more plausible? I think so. Is it plausible that that attorney could have had these women on conference call or in his office and said, this is your story, this is your story, this is story C, B, D, 4, and you guys all stick to it and we're going to get rich? Is that plausible? Yes, it is. I mean, come on, use your head. And the fact that nobody's investigated, or maybe they have, I don't know. But I truly believe they need to investigate everything that happened with this case, because this, to me, is screaming extortion. It's screaming extortion. I just don't see how two criminal juries don't find the evidence to indict somebody, but a judge, and then people say, well, it doesn't mean he's innocent, but a judge says that he's guilty of violating the player's conduct policy. Oh, he's guilty now. Get the fuck out of here, NFL. That 6 games was too harsh. It should have been 0 games, maybe 2, because he did violate the player conduct policy, so give him 2. But now you're trying to take away his livelihood. You want him to get counseling? For what? He says he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, is it illegal to go to a massage parlor and if they give you a happy ending? I don't know if it's illegal or not, but they gave him one. Why do they keep coming back? Why did some of these women work with him 4 or 5 times? That's what I want to know. See, we need to have all the facts out. That's the problem. We don't know the facts. We only know the facts that the media puts out there, that they don't tell the whole story. I guess Deshaun Watson would love to talk about it, but there's NDAs that say he can't talk about it. I guess Deshaun Watson team wanted an NDA signed so he can talk about it, but the other side don't want him to talk about it. I need to hear the full story. But in my fact 10, the NFL cannot suspend a man when they have 0 evidence. I mean, you're actually just going by the word of these women over his. You can't be certain what happened, and you're going to try to suspend a man's life? Get the fuck out of here. You need to find, just because the judge said he violated the league, that's 17 games? No, it's not worth 17 games. It wasn't even worth 6 games. Honestly, I could see 0 games or maybe 2, 4 at the most, but 6, that was outrageous. These women are not victims. Trust me, I know what sexual victims look like. These women are not victims. If they were victims, they would have been, from the get-go, reported to the police. Don't give me that, oh, they don't report to the police bullshit. So you're telling me that Tony Busby comes around, the attorney, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, they got some courage and went to the police or whatever? Get the fuck out of here. They got courage because they found out they may be entitled to a large sum of money. That's why they got courage. So yeah, I refuse to believe that these women are victims. To me, they're sex workers. They took the payment, they provided something, and now Deshaun Watson's life's in fucking ruins because of it. If I wasn't a Browns fan, I would say the same thing. I do not believe a man's life should be in ruins. I mean, what's going to happen? If he's guilty of what they say he is, say he was guilty of what they say he is, which I don't see how he could be. Give him a year, we'll move on. But I don't see how he is. I truly need if you can investigate these people, these attorneys, whatever, then prove that this never happened like I said it did, then I can move on. But I truly don't believe that he did anything wrong. I truly believe he was going there. These women were doing whatever, and they had no problem with them because, like I said, if they were trying to set him up, they would. You know how easy it is to put a phone in your pocket and record somebody? I've done it multiple times. It's easy. These women didn't do that. You know why? Because they had no intention of putting this guy through all this stuff until that attorney got involved. I don't know if you say coerced them, whatever, but he got them to file the lawsuit, whatever, and they got paid. They said it ain't about the money. Then why did they take the payment? If it ain't about the money, why did they take the payment? And the women that did not join the lawsuit, I would love to hear from. I would love to see them, interview them, HBO. Let's hear why you didn't join the lawsuit. Why didn't you join the lawsuit when you could have gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, I bet you their answer would be like, well, it was consensual. He never did nothing like that. I'll bet you. So that means these other women might be perjury in court, whatever. But yeah, I think Rusty Hardin, I heard he's a good attorney, but this was a bad representation of Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's innocent. I truly believe he's a victim of an extortion plot. And I think the NFL really needs to have, I think they need to investigate this thoroughly. And then if you find out I'm right about it, you owe him $1 billion for ruining his name. And if you find out he's guilty of what they said he did, then give him a season. We'll move on. It's that simple. And I still don't think it warrants a season, maybe 8 games at the most. But because he didn't force himself on anybody. Like I said, they said it was all consensual. I mean, the grand jury heard five times as many cases as Sue Robinson heard. And they found him not guilty, or they didn't indict him. That's all you need to know. They didn't indict him. They said they already read between the tea leaves. They're like, oh, this guy was just going there and getting hand jobs. Big deal. But Sue Robinson said you violated the conduct policy. You want to take away a season. I'm not buying it.